Alright. I was planning to take a break, not review these games, and Splice changed my mind because either Splice continues to win or Splice have awakened the beast because SKT felt like they were just trying to increase the list of what champions they played. We had the Azir, the Draven, the Skarner. We're gonna have a good game regardless. I will review the Splice SKT, the Splice victory, because I think it highlights some of SKT's weaknesses, even though their draft didn't really allow them to do much. Yeah, let's get into it. My goodness, Splice took a game. Everyone predicted 3-0, but I have a feeling SKT could have been 3-0 if they wanted to be. We're in draft. Okay, freak. Okay, draft is on. Zaya SKT ban, the blue side again. Orn ban. So SKT is gonna continue with the first pick Renekton. But I think Splice are happy with the Kaiser. They're happy with the Rise as well. If the response is to pick Azir into Rise, Splice is still in good conditions. So let's see if SKT first pick Renekton. They should just first pick Kaiser, I believe. Rise is also a good one. I think Rise Kaiser are definitely the highest prior here. And there we go. Splice with the Renekton lock-in. Okay, holy shit. Okay. Vichiwashi with the Renekton. Okay. Let's see what happens. That's what's up. Kaiser's great lock-in. Oh, the Queen. I forgot about the Khan Queen. Whoa! Xerxes Talia. Renekton Talia. I love it. This is a Queen that's gonna run Cleanse. Gragas Talia matchup is fine for Talia. Gragas scales super well. And Talia can't really punish Gragas, but he can't eat through the rocks. Later on, I think Gragas is a more high quality champion than of course, Talia. Segway ban Ezreal. Just not give a shit about Draven. I like that approach. Tristana ban, I think. Tristana ban. Ban Tristana. Tristana ban. Tristana ban Splice. Telecom. It ban mid laners. What would you ban for Rise? Super ban's also fine. Nautilus ban I like. Nautilus was a menace. Noshkarin. Having a good Nautilus game last game. Honestly. It deserves more respect from me. Don't ban Draven, ban Tristana. Funnel them into the Draven. Draven was... Oh, Blitzcrank. So you're just picking Trash fourth. Trash fourth pick, but Effort Alistar is still a thing here. Effort is very happy to play Alistar, and I think picking Blitz is... picking Trash is a mistake. Because enemy has option of Alistar. They could play Alistar Varus, and I think you don't have a winning matchup bot. You have quite a losing matchup bot. Pike ban. So yeah, for sure the Blitzcrank ban signifies that they want to pick Trash. But there's Alibaba. I'll be afraid of Alibaba. Noshkrim plays Alibaba? Maybe they need to pick Alibaba. Alistar has counters for sure. Okay, Syndrome mid lane, last pick support. Still, I think you go for the Ali, Varus Alistar. Don't pick Draven. Fuck Draven, man. What a dog shit champ. Leona Varus. Tam Varus. Okay, this looks more like a Tristana. Go Leona. Teddy Tristana. I think Tristana is cool into Kaiser. I think Kog'Maw's good into Kaiser. Kalista. Okay. It's a Teddy special. But I think locking it in against... locking Kalista against Syndra Thalia is a rough one. Honestly. Yeah, they just need hard CC. It's very important that they have hard CC because you need to have lanes that synergize with Thalia, otherwise it's really pointless to pick it. So we have Renekton already. They need some hard CC now to connect. Because Varus is going to be a target. Most of the time you see Renekton being played around when you see Renekton Thalia, but here definitely Varus is a target. I think they could have gone a bit deeper here. Honestly, I think I love Alistar. Why was Alistar not picked in this game? Me. I guess I just didn't want to play Alistar against Syndra, and that's it. Not sure. I think the fact that Varus has decent range and he can't get punished by Thresh that hard. I think some ADs get harder punished by Thresh, but here Teddy on Varus is going to be more happy than with other things. Top lane matchup is in favor of Quinn. You have to put a lot of effort to kill her, but then at a time where if you get if you're ahead with Renekton, and you can look to one-shot the Queen, but it's always going to be difficult because if Quinn plays well, she can E out of Renekton's stun and always gets away. I don't remember how the interaction works, that if Queen is targeting E on you, if you manage to get W off as Renekton. Because if you get W off and you E through creeps and then you can punch, then it might be difficult. So I think it comes down to if Renekton can snowball or not. Because them looking in the Renekton here, it should be expected. Should be very expected that the Queen Kong is coming. Okay, so to summarize the drafts, I think on the split push side, a lot of strong tools here for SK Telecom. I think later on, Varus can definitely be a liability in teamfights. So if they manage to catch the Varus in teamfights, I think they can actually win here Splice later on in the game. But I think the execution of the teamfights is way too close for Splice to have an advantage. The game that Splice won was when the teamfights was heavy in their favor. They outskilled hard, and they had the Ornn, they had the Noshkron and Nautilus. They had so many tools to make that fight easier, and also the enemy team had, Draven, Renekton, champions that are hard to teamfight with. This time around, I think SKT's teamfighting is much easier. I think Syndra E is going to be a key ability here because a humanoid's usage of E can make or break teamfights because everyone on that team is relatively short range. Phase rush on Khan and Rise. I think it's very important to pay attention to how humanoid uses E, because this E can punish hard. And if they manage to fish for E and Thalia can knock someone up, that can be it. If humanoid lands a QE or EQ, however you want to do it, EQ is a bit better. Or sometimes you have a Q on the ground because you are just laning. Oh, it's a blue steal. Interesting. This is not spotted, because if you pay attention to the wards that SK Telecom placed, they were in the river one and one on the Raptor. So Klid's gonna be caught off guard here. But usually when you invade with okay, nice. This is very good considering Thalia is right behind her neck. But Khan already warding. He is suggesting already that this is a thing. Faker maybe skilled EW. Zex gets spotted on mid, so Klid retreats. Zex is going to defend his own blue, and Chachi is going to be alone in the top lane. Gonna get level 2 late because he missed one creep. Klid is looking for level 2 gank with the EW, but it doesn't seem like he's gonna get something. Okay, Noshkren. Ooh! Okay, wild. Okay, humanoid, electrocute proc, I like it. Not that easy of a lane matchup anymore for Rise, ever since his abilities got reworked a bit with no shield and less of an early game power. In the past, you could just go Corrupting Potion, you could fight hard, you can spam E, and then you can trade hard with the Syndra, use the fact that you get move speed from your Corrupting Potion, Time Warp Tonic. But now Riot has to take more of a safer approach, get Tear, maybe potentially even Catalyst in some cases, depending on the state of Syndra, Mercury for sure, and play more of a defensive role. Look for that EW, like Flash EW. Chachi is in a very rough matchup. This is not the same as Renekton and Ornn. Khan has done a very good job at this series of spreading his pressure by getting vision. That's the phase rush. Khan should look to cancel this. Gragas, if Renekton stays on this wave, maybe they need to consider dive. Ooh, okay. Boom. Very well done. Very well done. Fake has phase rush on. He's gonna get away. Not enough damage. And now Fake should have enough money to buy Tear. And a pink. Okay. No screen. Doesn't manage to get the E off. No Aftershock on Leona, but no spells on Kobe. Oh. He didn't go for Tear, he went for Boots and Sapphire Crystal. No pink. Boots are super good against Syndra, of course. And good against Talia too. Can make or break the difference between you getting ganked, so I assume here Faker felt without flash. Doesn't feel so safe, needs to get Boots to provide them with extra mobility. Khan has Cleanse. Chachi is positioned very well here. Khan phase rush on. Flash. Khan double summoner. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Wow. Usually most Gragas players they've based at this timing. And the fact that Clid is still roaming around the map and trying to match Xerxes on every point, just mad props for Clid for reading the situation. Super insane. Splice here overcommit on the fact that, he has Flash Cleanse, they should know, and I think they're gambling on the point that Gragas has gone base. But Clid was around, and now Splice really need to capitalize on the fact that Khan has no Flash, no Cleanse, because if they don't, then they're gonna be in trouble. Oh, Chachi. Okay. If Khan gets his Cleanse up again, it's a massive disaster here, because they invested a lot into getting both these summoners. So it's strange here with Spice composition, it doesn't emphasize their strengths. They're trying to show some variety here. But this doesn't feel like a Splice composition, right? Like this plays into SKT's wheelhouse quite heavily. SK Telecom have the better team fighting composition, barring how well Humanoid uses his EQ. Okay, this dive is pretty free if they go for it. But Khan still has Eon, he still has Eon. Chachi is passing the turrets now. Khan playing quite well here. Chachi regaining his CS as well, off of the fact that he managed to freeze the wave after Khan base. Khan has no TP. He's relying on this ultimate to bring him around the map. Went for the cleanse instead. Classic choice in this particular matchup. The only way you really die with Quinn is if you get stunned and one-shotted. And usually the way you get reached is with a flash W of Renekton. So SKT trade display from Xerxes. Trading sides of the map completely now. Khan trying to stay busy somehow to disrupt this Talia. Rise Gragas probably on the bot. Map is pretty much divided, and the fact that Xerxe gave up to play here is not the best situation. Splice should have stayed under the turret, I believe. But this is working too. Teddy might be in trouble. Okay. But Splice could stay under the turret because this dive looked very hard to do while Humanoid had TP on. And just effort went way too early, way too forced, and it seems like whole SKT was thinking about the TP of Splice except effort. Because a good situation there is if you bait out the TP and then you have the better transition into mid, already you gain value. But here Gragas wasted his time on the dive, and Talia is at an advantage because he stole all of the jungle camps up top. And he managed to clear his own, and Gragas wasted his time and is forced to back off because effort died. So very good outcome here for Splice. Looked like it could be something bad because they didn't get that much value out of going towards Khan besides the top jungle camps. Potentially if SKT do this dive a bit better where they focus their CC on the same target and one shot, it could be a possibility. I think that the rough part there is the fact that Thresh has Flay, so you can always deny the Leona. But I see a world where the Varus ultimate and the Rise route is enough to bring a target down. And then backing off. Said they push too far, Splice back off, and efforts chased, and then Humanoid TP down. And there, if effort doesn't go, Splice already backed off from the tower and they got what they wanted. They denied one full wave. There's a very specific rule of thumb that you could follow is if never go with the mindset that you should dive, go with the mindset that you want to pressure them off of the tower. If they stay under the tower, then you dive. So the side objective is to get them off the tower. If you gotten them off the tower, it means that you've won already. In this case, SKT got them off the tower. They won already. SKT forced too hard with effort, and effort dies. Ooh, okay, good stopwatch. Effort fucks his E up, but it doesn't matter too much. Could be a 1-for-1 here. Don't think Xerxe needs to use his W, but it doesn't matter. Okay, flash for double summoner on top. They tried to dive Khan earlier, but it wasn't enough. Flash for double summoner. Let's see if Xerxe can do anything to capitalize here on the situation. But ever since, you know, after Varus and Leona reach 6, Thresh is always going to be in trouble. And I'm not that big of a fan of the Thresh pick because of this. I don't feel like Thresh is going to get enough value with Kai'Sa against a Varus Leona to compensate for the fact that at 6 you're going to be a target constantly. You always have to hover within Varus ult range or Leona ult range, and every time you're going to be a liability. And Gragas is a champion. Many junglers can just gank through lane. Xerxe ult on cooldown. Once again, Khan, no summoners. If it continues to go in this fashion where Khan can slowly scale and get his items without getting punished when he's on summoners, he's going to win out big time. Humanoid. Ooh, humanoid movement. Ooh. Oh, okay. Xerxe with the Talia mechanics. Looking rusty. Oh. Flash into no W. Chachi no flash. Chachi no flash. Xerxe right behind him. Flash for flash in the mid lane. Mercury on for Rise. Also going for Catalyst. Wonder if he's going for Abyssal Mask or not. Sply is definitely in better position here. Not anymore. It started good. But then here they lose all of their possession. Now this is a losing situation for Splice, I believe. Let's take a step back. Where is W of Xerxes? He doesn't have W? Why is Gragas allowed to do this? Like, why doesn't Gragas... I guess if they walk after him, he will just look to E out. But here Xerxes has no W, is that why? Trying to look if Xerxes is W, but it doesn't look like it. And then here I think Kobe needs to be here. Kobe is in the wrong position. Kobe needs to be together with the team. But then afterwards Drake just did too much damage. Chachi is too low. I think Chachi has a decent amount of gold as well. And now I think it's a losing situation. Oh, okay. Very nice. Holy Splice. SKT stomped in 2 games, but 3rd game Splice won. And now it's kind of even. But I think SKT scaled better. I wonder. This just feels so odd to me. Can't quite put my finger on it. I feel like SKT are a bit too scared, no? They are respecting the Syndra stun so much. Like, they're not walking up at all. Because it's weird, you know, it's weird how good Syndra stun is against the team of SKT. It's really, really good. But they need to kind of walk forward to force it somehow. And then they need to gamble that they dodge. Like, if you get stun by it, of course you're gonna get comboed down by Talia, and you will get one-shotted. And SKT are being very respectful. Like, here they didn't walk up at all. They're respecting Syndra to the max. But Splice 1k gold ahead. They're in good state. But SKT are gonna continue to scale on side. I think Talia ult is gonna be a problem for Varus. If Xerxes can find angles to ult in a way where Renekton can actually fight, then SKT without flashes are gonna be in trouble as well. Meaning, if their backs are up against the wall, it's gonna be much easier to land Syndra stun, much easier to land hooks, much easier for Renekton to connect. Swap for Herald, standard stuff. SKT are going through mid lane here. Splice should definitely keep Syndra mid. She has Luden's Echo, she can probably clear 1v3. They're just going for Herald. I think potentially you should look to pressure top tower here instead of pressuring Herald. Because in the end, the Herald is going to give you less than that. Unless they are really, really keen to break down the mid tower. And Splice secure a Rift Herald. Good tempo swing here from them because they sent Varus to catch mid and rise into top. Syndra was already on the wave and Splice did the first move. So here, good tempo swing here, but Chachi also moved all the way into top side. I think he could have stayed in between somewhere in fog to make sure not to lose as much on bottom. Because almost the full tower dies, if not the full tower on bottom. So I have to ask, you know, Rift Herald post 14 minutes, how worth is it really? Because yeah, Khan is going to continue to push and Chachi will look to all in. Flash Cleanse is available. Khan needs to respect. Talia is not showing on the map. Talia is so powerful because she has such a massive gank distance, similar to like a Nocturne. And even if you have wards on your lane, it might not be enough. This blade is hurting. Xerxes is coming in now, just to push out and make Chachi base. Xerxes refusing to use W. At least try, you know, try. Xerxes didn't use W in such a long time. Makes me think he didn't skill it. Drake up in 1 minute. Humanoid caught in a weird spot here. He's out already. Noshka and Mrs. Flay. Oh, this is not a fight that you want. Keep in mind, if you commit first and you don't have a Talia wall supporting you, then SKT are very happy to kite. SKT have a lot of tools to kite. They have the Gragas, they have the Varus. Unless you have a Talia wall behind you or the Syndra stun doesn't land, then still SKT are going to be favored in these fights. And this skirmish started in a very strange way where Renekton was the one engaging. And Renekton can follow up, but he cannot engage against this team composition. Not at all. There's too many tools to get him out. The Renekton E gets countered by Quinn E, Gragas E. SKT are going to get first tower here on bottom. Khan is going to continue to snowball off of this. Black Cleaver is bottom Chachi, but I think Black Cleaver probably is the worst choice. I think sure the Phage buy is kind of neat because you get the move speed to follow the Quinn. But she has Phase Rush. I don't think it's going to bridge any gamps. Splice, use Rift, get mid tower. But first tower still fell for Quinn. So the big thing there, when they did the Rift, I felt like they could have kept Renekton in the bot lane and potentially force a dive on Ryze and then force a poor rotation from SKT. They went for the Herald instead, which was fine, they got it. And it paid off with them getting mid tower eventually as well. If you have this foresight that you think the mid tower is more important than the top tower, I don't mind. I think it's a correct call then from Splice. Splice still need to find the right ways to engage. They need to find space from side. They need to ult with Talia, cut the enemy team off, and then go. Here SKT is first to this situation. Talia wall is available. If we chase this, Chachi has no flash. Khan has flash. Xerxes managed to come first because he's gliding on walls. I wonder if SKT could have just walked earlier. Because here it looks like they're on a similar time, but they are kind of... like Effort's kind of choking here, like, why doesn't he go? He's afraid of Talia or something. There was a ping that landed, and I think they could have went faster here and potentially cut off even Talia. Because this fight was favorable for SKT. Chachi was out, and I think if SKT took a more stern spring in their step, they could have definitely forced the enemy out. But after Renekton's HP was that low, maybe they just feel like the fight is completely unnecessary. Oh, important stun from Humanoid. SKT is very split here. Ryze is already dead. Leon is in trouble. Kai'Sa is getting a kill. Jesus. So here, the fact that SK Telecom split so much completely denies them the possibility of a fight. Zeri is running off. They're trying to go for this ult. ult out. I think just SK Telecom, a very sloppy play here. Splice also good TP, good ult here. They get funneled through, and the stun from Humanoid is crispy, very crispy. Splice have come to play. They have a composition that's more tricky to execute in the last game, and they're showing that they are capable, but Chachi is on the back foot here. Bless you, Alana. My girlfriend sneezed. The hook, oh, if this hook lands, Jesus, if this hook lands, then Kobe survives, but you know, bottom line is SKT get the Infernal Drake. Splice a very good response there to force. SKT was very disrespectful with the way they were positioning, because they need to position towards bottom side. They need to position together with where Khan is. They went into the top side instead. They have a pink on the tri-bush. They would have full vision control. They know that TPs cannot come behind them. Need to hover towards Khan. And then instead we saw them hovering into top side. So SKT, very cocky in their approach here. Kobe. Oh, if this hook lands, it's so crazy. If this hook lands, I think Teddy dies. Kai'Sa has W on. Ginzu was stacked. In terms of AD carries, Kai'Sa outscales Varus quite heavily. The only upswing is upside for Teddy is the fact that he has lethal tempo. But now without the flashes now on key targets like Varus, then the tele wall is going to be even more dangerous. Ryze got one-shotted in this fight, and Syndra's stun is just difficult to maneuver around. Humanoid's usage of Syndra E has been very clutch, and that was the bottom line question always. Humanoid, how he uses that Syndra stun. And so far so good. Cannot complain. Another one. Splice are not in position. Root lands. Mercury is not enough, and Humanoid is gonna die. I don't like the decision of putting Humanoid on side when he's playing the Syndra. I think Splice would do better with Syndra on the mid lane. Koba also has Cleanse. I think Syndra can give you prio mid always. I think Syndra is just a liability on sides, so I don't like it too much. The reasoning is that you want to go there because she has TP, but Syndra TP is... Pardon me, not a thing. It's not like Syndra's gonna TP and flank like Kog'Maw yesterday. So SKT have the strength of side lane. The Queen and Ryze should both win their sides. Splice should look to play through mid lane and play a more compact 4-1. Force SKT to face check and then catch them in that face check. They have Talia wall to do some creative things. Varus flash is up again. Faker has no flash. Use the flash to kill Syndra. Splice need to execute the same way as the previous game where they look to pressure Nash space. Talia ult them. Make them Ryze ult in and then maybe find a big stun. Because their Nash damage is quite decent here. They have the Kai'Sa. Same thing can be said for SKT, but the setup is a bit more difficult because the mid prio is not in their favor. Instead, they need to look for catches like this. Chachi is looking for the all-in, but his armor is not giving him any damage. What the hell just happened? Oh no, don't spoil. Oh, come on. Come on, man. Shit. Okay. Okay, so start. Here we were. I saw SKT getting the Nash already. Okay, Chachi was dead. This we knew. It was difficult to play for Chachi. He just needs to sit on his turret and make sure he doesn't lose it, but he doesn't have TP either, so he doesn't have any pressure on the map. Khan is gonna win split. Rise is gonna win split. Splice just needs to look to force Nash as soon as possible. Otherwise, Renekton's gonna keep dying. Whoever catches top is gonna keep dying, and SKT are just gonna farm better and more efficiently. And if they do, SKT item breaking points where the Cinder stun is not as effective is going to hurt them a lot. Kobe also going for AP build here. I think it's incorrect. It's going for AP against a team that has 2 Mercury already, and a lot of good reasons to buy even more MR. So I don't like it too much that you go AP build. I think AP build is superior on Kai'Sa, but I think it becomes worse when enemy has a decent amount of MR. Like if you had a free choice where the damage distribution is completely equal on your team, I think Magic is better. Blade the Ruin King is hurting, and I think Chachi is just itemizing for team fights. Can't expect anything else from Chachi. Here, Noshkren just finished the recall, and Khan could have potentially been in trouble if Noshkren hooks and Splice commit there with 5 man. But they're going for the base. I'm curious to see what Humanoid buys. He has every AP item component in the bank. He's going for Liandry. A lot of them are already on enemy team. Maybe he'll go for early Void into Rabadubia. Could be something. There's the wall. There's the wall. Faker has no flash yet. And SKT stand tall, and they are... Oh, Noshkaren. That ain't it, papi. TP on Renekton is on. Khan is moving around the mid lane. Never mind, he's just doing wolves. And Splice, probably this was their best opportunity, because now SKT has flash up on 2. QSS is ready on Teddy. Banshee is ready on Clid. A lot of good magic resistance is being bought here, and Faker just goes for the one shot here on Talia. A Humanoid dies too. Splice with no control over the Nash area is also difficult for them to face check. The fact that they should have the mid area controlled, it comes from the fact that they should have mid prio. But here they looked for the fight in mid lane. They couldn't really enter. They couldn't find their way in. Humanoid couldn't connect a stun, because that's what's so important. Humanoid connecting a stun, Thresh connecting a hook. That doesn't happen. Very difficult. And then now, you know, on top of that, there's Mercury, more movement speed here for Rise, and Splice composition now is too hard to play. Because we're talking all the time how Humanoid needs to use his QE properly, but now that trajectory has run its course. SKT now have the option of going 1-3-1. Splice needs to continue to look to do the same. Rise is the one without flash now. He flashed to kill Talia. Maybe if they can look to get a nice stun going on the Rise, then things might be good. So gets spotted, flashed on, and the same for Humanoid. Yeah, Splice are just continuing to run into the blender that is SK Telecom. They should have just done a coordinated effort to try to contest the space together, but they just ran in one by one. So it wasn't the greatest. Splice, very tricky composition to pull off, and that has never been their strength, pulling off tricky compositions. Now Splice, sure, have some wave clear. Let's just check again how Humanoid died here. He just gets flashed on. He shouldn't be under this turret. The turret is dead already. 1 for 1, so it's not too shabby. So fucking Rise ultimate right into the mix. In fact, I've been very sloppy these 2 last games. Yeah, well, this game is pretty over. SKT 3-1. Sucks for Mata, honestly. That's really sad for Mata. I love Mata as much as the next guy, but it's a sad way to go. That felt like a retirement game. Definitely felt like a retirement game. So Splice, you know, couldn't capitalize on the fact that Khan was without summoners for a long time. Mid lane, they tried to find some catches onto the Rise. I think it's very important when you have these early game centric compositions that you are very careful with how you choose to use your time. Bottom lane matchup as well. Kaiser Thresh. It's a good lane to scale, but it's not a good lane to pressure because you're rather safe. Kaiser can't pressure as hard as you want other AD carries to do. Kaiser is very strong at pushing, and Thresh can maybe fish for hooks under the turret. Varus is relatively high range. I think it's hard to get hooked when you're playing Varus, and then at 6, the ultimates are too powerful to deal with here for Thresh. Because I think Varus ult, Leona ult are very good against Thresh. Because Thresh is always going to be in that distance. Splice went to secure enemy blue, and top matchup is rough. And then later on, Splice, with some kind of early game lead with this draft, need to be able to continuously find fights where they use Zarya ult and the wall. But SKT managed to secure 2 Infernals, and then eventually their split push was just too strong. That's the flay. It's a good play here from Splice, very good. So W lands in the first place, boom, onto Faker. Kobe goes, good dodge with the E there, and then the flay. I think Faker could have stepped downwards once and then into the portal. He had 1 more frame or 2 more frames to do so. And SKT Faker dying 4 times. Many times. Not looking too fancy here. Klid looks like the best performer, and Khan is also having a great tournament, but the focus is mostly on Klid. This game, he's been playing really well. Klid with the counter gank on top that gave him the kill on Renek was really important. Khan is very quick. His team is pushing down mid lane. I have a little SKT camera there. It was blocked. You could just trust me when I said it. SKT are going for end. Looks like they can end. Gonna be close, but no cigar. Teddy just hit the Nexus, bro. Okay, you just want kills. Okay. SKT 3-1. So I was hoping some kind of SKT Beast would be activated here, but it wasn't the case. No SKT Beast. Splice was activated for a short period of time, but then they drafted themselves into a composition that is definitely in SKT's. You know, SKT has so much experience playing against compositions like this. The Talia Renekton, like this is a Damwon strategy that's been played. This is an LCK strategy that's been played throughout the whole year. So the fact that Splice are going for something that they know the enemy is so used to, it felt like more that they were trying to shock the world more than their enemies. Because here they took Renekton away, which they wanted to use as a punish. They wanted to punish the fact that SKT were taking Renekton every time, and they wanted to tell SKT that it was the right choice. But this time around it didn't work. Ornn was banned. The first big rise, enemy took Renekton and Kai'Sa. Varus was the adaptation, second wave. I think all in all, you know, definitely SKT didn't show too much in this series. Nothing in comparison to what they showed in groups. And I think in groups, they weren't too exciting. I'm not as excited on SK Telecom as others might be. I'm really hyped up on FPX and IG currently. So we'll have to see how that semi-finals will play out. But I think FPX is favored. Okay, that segues us into the next match. Maybe I'll review the Splice and the SKT game that Splice won. But for now, let's wait for Damwon versus the